दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा सब अवतार सर शिरोमणि सब अवतार सर शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंदा केवल आनंद कंदा परमा करुणा कहु तुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा परमा करुणा
Hare Krishna Prabhu, is it okay? Meeta Madri was there.
She was there. I think suddenly connection got dropped and she was singing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry, I don't know what happened. That call got cut off.
Okay, no problem. You can start again because Mataji just joined. So you can
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Jai Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Please continue.
Yes, Mataji, yes. Let's start again, okay? परमा करुणा कहु दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा परमा करुणा कहु दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा सब अवतार सर शिरोमणि सब अवतार सर शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंदा केवल आनंद कंदा परमा करुणा कहु दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा परमा करुणा कहु दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा बजो बजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वासो कोरी बजो बजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वासो कोरी विषया चढ़िया से रसे मजिया विषया चढ़िया से रसे मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि मुखे बोलो हरि हरि परमा करुणा कहु दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा परमा करुणा दुई जना निताय गौरा चंद्रा देखो ओरे भाई त्रिभुवने नय मोना दयालु दाता देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवने नय मोना दयालु दाता पासु पाखी चूहुरे पसना विदारे पासु पाखी चूहुरे पसना विदारे सुनी चर गुण गाथा परमा करुणा बहुत जना निताय गौरा चंद्र परमा करुणा बहुत जना निताय गौरा चंद्र संसार माझिया रोहिणी पुरिया से पदे नहीं रो आशा संसार माझिया रोहिणी पुरिया से पदे नहीं रो आशा अपना करम पूजाए समाना अपना करम पूजाए समाना कहो ये लोचना दासा कहो ये लोचना दासा परमा करुणा बहुत जना निताय गौरा चंद्र परमा करुणा बहुत जना निताय गौरा चंद्र परमा करुणा बहुत जना निताय गौरा चंद्र हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Lochana Das Thakur. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, everyone. Mataji, you mute.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Meeta Mataji and Siddhi, for the nice kirtan. It's a beautiful song, Parama Karuna. You enjoyed singing that?
Yes, Mataji, it was such a blissful service to do, actually, to glorify Lochana Das Thakur.
Yes.
And the meaning is so amazing, Mataji, how nicely, there is no way then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu taking their shelter. So that was wonderful service to do, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vivek Prabhu.
Very nice. Thank you. So it's today is the disappearance day of Shri Lochana Das Thakur. So it's an offering of singing the song sung by him. So very nice, Mataji. Thank you. And it's a wonderful opportunity. I mean, it's a blessing to, offer that song, for the pleasure of the Lord. Thank you so much. And as usual, thank you, Vivek Prabhu, for coordinating the session. So we will see. So we will be today seeing about Govardhan. We will offer some prayers. And we'll start. Yeah. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Sheila Prabhupada ki jai. So we will read one verse now before we begin. Yes. Share the screen. So we will read from it. Is basically we are reading from the 18th chapter of Madhya Leela. So 18 point, reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 18, verse 15. Tabe chali aila Prabhu Sumana Sarovara Taha Govardhana Deki Haila Vikpala. Tabe, thereafter Chali traveling Aila came Prabhu Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sumana Sarovara to the lake known as Sumanas. Tahan there Govardhan Hill, Deki seeing Haila Vikvala became overwhelmed. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From Radha Kunda, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sumanas lake. When he saw Govardhan Hill from there, he was overwhelmed with joy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurum Tidatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Giri Govardhan ki jai. So today is a special about Giri Govardhan. So the last week we saw that how Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the very beginning, the chapter itself, the Lord travels to Vrindavan. We saw how the Lord entered Vrindavan, and in the last week we saw he visited, Radha Kund, the most sacred place in this universe, and he offers his prayers, and in ecstasy he's dancing in joy, and he's applying the tilaka from Radha Kund. And so all that we saw in the last week session. So now we see how Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to Govardhan, and today we will be seeing the Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy in Govardhana Hill, the beautiful pastime of how Gopala reciprocated with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also the virtual Parikrama of Govardhan. I mean, it is not possible within the short time to show everything, but whatever possible, we can all see darshan, and we can also take blessings. First of all, I like to thank Naveen Prabhu, and Sangeeta Mataji. In fact, they helped in making this PPT. So we're very thankful for Naveen Prabhu in helping in this out. So Prabhu, if you are there, could you kindly share? Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, the host needs to give me the permission. Firstly.
Yeah, Vivek Prabhu, sorry, are you there? Vivek Prabhu. Bhaskar Prabhu is co-host. Topaji Prabhu, if you can give to Naveen Prabhu, if you can make him a host, will be good.
1 second, Mataji. I'm checking.
Vivek Prabhu is here as
Vivek
well.
Prabhu can do it, Mataji.
Okay. Vivek Prabhu is there. Prabhu, if you could kindly give the host permission to Naveen Prabhu, please.
From which name he? Prabhu?
Sangeeta Naveen
Okay.
Kumar.
I'm just singing.
Sangeeta Naveen Kumar.
Okay, yeah, I granted.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, I can able to do that.
So, yeah, we can make it full screen also.
Yeah, can you able to see?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. You're not hearing the noise, right, Mataji?
Not Prabhu. No Prabhu.
Have you shared the computer sound, Prabhu? So when you click share a screen, there will be a 2 button in the right hand side bottom.
Okay.
So there you have to select share the computer sound. Then it will
Okay, I can unmute here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So it's very, very wonderful that we are getting an opportunity to glorify and hear and speak about the glories of Govardhan. It's like the glories of Govardhan Hill, I mean, can be compared like an ocean, and we are trying to just touch a few drops. So it's not possible with our limited senses to even glorify Govardhan Hill. Because it is non-different from Krishna. There is a beautiful tattva itself behind Govardhan, which we will see shortly. Yeah, Prabhu, you keep going, the next one. Okay, I think if you can make it as a full slide, because devotees can't see, isn't it? It looks small, isn't it?
Is there any sound behind it, Mataji?
No sound, Prabhu. Just I want it to be full screen. I don't have to be in the screen.
Well, then in that case, Prabhu has to make it in presentation mode.
Yeah, slideshow, you go the big one, Prabhu.
Okay.
There will be, if you go in the view, there will be start from beginning, and you start from beginning.
Let me know if this is fine.
Yeah, no worries. You go there.
Yeah.
So basically, you see the principle behind Govardhan is very, very interesting. Just like, in a way we can compare to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you see, he is the Supreme Lord himself. Krishna himself, took the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, to give out the holy name. So there are many internal and external reasons. The internal reason is to, understand the mood of Srimati Radharani, to relish the mood of Srimati Radharani, and also, to give out the holy name to everyone and deliver the conditioned souls. So you see that he is Lord himself, but also coming in the mood of a devotee. Similarly, if you see Govardhan Hill, Giri Govardhan is non-different from Krishna himself, which we see from the pastime of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, that how the Lord himself manifested himself as Krishna, from the hill, and he ate all the offerings. So he's non-different from Krishna. At the same time, he's the best of the servants of Krishna, So he's Krishna himself and also servant of Krishna. Just like Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself, and also a devotee of the Lord. So it's a very beautiful tattva behind Giri Govardhan. So let us see what happens, how the Lord goes. So the Lord is going to the first place called Sumana's Lake. Prabhu, you could make it full screen?
In full screen, Mataji.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fine. So the Lord is going to, there are many sarovars, in Vrindavan, and one of the sarovar is called Sumana Sarovar, also called Sumana's Lake. Prabhupada translates there. So from Sumana's Lake, he is able to see Govardhan Hill, and when the Lord saw Govardhan Hill, he became very ecstatic just by the mere sight of Govardhana. The Lord became so ecstatic, and he was offering his dandavat pranams. Dandavat, as we know the word, like a rod, falling like a rod and offering obeisances is called dandavat pranams. Many times we write dandavats. So that is that means falling like a rod and offering obeisances. So when the Lord offers obeisance, he becomes mad, in ecstasy. So then what happens? The next one, we see that the Lord embraces one stone from the Govardhan hill, and he's going into ecstasy, because in the mood of Radharani's mood is to always look for Krishna, isn't it? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the Supreme Lord, but in the mood of Srimati Radharani, as soon as he saw Govardhan, immediately she could see that Krishna everywhere. And so in ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going and embracing the rock, and then he goes to great ecstasy. So that is what we see here. Yes, Prabhu. So then in ecstatic love, the Lord is going to this very beautiful village, in Govardhan, called Govardhan village. Now we have in Mumbai, near to Mumbai, we have the Govardhan Eco Village. This is Govardhan village, where we can see this beautiful village where the Lord is seeing, taking darshan of a very wonderful, beautiful deity called Harideva. So Harideva is a very beautiful deity, in this Govardhan village. And Harideva is none other than the incarnation of Lord Narayana himself. As the name goes, Harideva. So the Lord is going to this Harideva temple, offering his obeisances and dancing in great ecstasy, as you can see. And seeing the Lord's wonderful activities, everyone from the village are coming, to see the Lord and his dance. Not only his dance, they were completely stunned seeing the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic, dancing. So everyone was thrilled and astonished seeing the ecstatic dancing of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the priest of the Harideva temple is welcoming the Lord with a very, very grand reception. And so this is what is happening in this beautiful Harideva temple. And then the Lord goes to Brahmakunda. And Brahmakunda, the Lord, is going and taking, bath in this holy river. And where, anyone remembers who is the servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is accompanying in all this Vrindavan visits? Anyone remembers who is that personality who is accompanying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What is his name? The servant who is accompanying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all this visits. Only two people are accompanying him. And one person's name is not given. They just said that is one Brahmana assisting, but there was the name of one person. Who is that person?
Krishnadas?
Huh?
Krishnadas?
Krishnadas was earlier. Kala Krishnadas was an earlier servant. But in Mahaprabhu's pastime, if you remember, when he goes to Vrindavan, all the elephants, the tigers, the deers, everyone dancing, we were telling one name. He was astonished, Mahaprabhu, seeing all these wild animals also, even Jarikan, he only accompanied. Who is that? So who accompanied Mahaprabhu in the Vrindavan tour? Starting with the letter B. Anyone remembers?
Balabhadra.
Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Thank you, Prabhu. Balabhadra Bhattacharya is the person who actually accompanies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is only cooks wherever, there is no, house, like Vaishnava house nearby. Then Balabhadra Bhattacharya would cook for the Lord, and then he will offer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Brahmakunda, the Lord is taking bath, and then Balabhadra Bhattacharya prepares a wonderful offering for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honors that offering. And then that night, Mahaprabhu stays in the temple of Harideva. And he stays in the Harideva temple and he contemplates the whole night. Oh, Lord Gopala is staying in Govardhan Hill. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a different mood because he thinks Govardhan is non-different from Krishna, as I told you, because in the mood of Radharani, he don't want to put his foot on Govardhan. He don't want to climb Govardhan Hill. So he's on the, he's not really inside Govardhan. He's on the, below the Govardhan Hill, in the foothills of the Govardhan. So he don't want to climb on the top of Govardhan. He considers that as a body of Krishna. So, but at the same time, the Gopala deity, the beautiful deity of Gopala of Madhavendra Puri is there in Govardhan, on the top hill, on the top of the hill. So Mahaprabhu had a great desire to see Gopal, but at the same time, he don't want to climb the hill. So he's, of course, he's a supreme Lord, but he's just thinking of Gopala and thinking how I will be able to take darshan of Gopal. So Gopal can understand, the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he plays a trick, beautiful trick. And what is the trick Gopal does is that, actually Gopal stays in Annakut, very beautiful, yes. Gopal is staying in the Govardhan is a very beautiful hill, as we all know, and there are many, many little small villages and so many lakes and so many sacred places. So one of the village name is called Annakuta, Annakut Gram. The Annakuta Grama is also called Aniora. As this pastime, Annakut is like they make the Anna, the rice like a hill, Govardhan Hill, and people circumambulate, right? How this Grama, this village, got the name Annakuta because as a Nanda Maharaj's time, 5,000 years back, as we all know this pastime, Nanda Maharaj wanted to arrange a Indra Puja. And then little Krishna, he goes to the father Nanda Maharaj and says that, why you want to worship Indra? We should be worshipping Govardhan and the cows, because Govardhan provides everything for our survival, because Govardhan is giving the fresh grass for the cows. Govardhan is giving all kinds of, fruits, flowers, vegetables, you name it. Everything is there in Govardhan. So we should be offering our worship to Govardhan and not for Indra. So then after hearing, because all the inhabitants of Vrindavan are so loving Krishna, and especially Nanda Maharaj, and Yashoda Maya. So when they heard little Krishna speaking like this, they want to please Krishna. So they arranged whatever puja they were actually, arranged for Indra, they offered it to for Govardhan. And as we all know the pastimes, at that time, Nanda Maharaj made such an arrangement. See, everyone is bringing their offerings. The entire, Nandagaon, the entire Vrindavan Dham, everyone is bringing their offerings, for Govardhan. And Krishna himself, becomes the deity, becomes manifest there. And he eats all the offerings for everyone's surprise, right? So that village where everyone brought this offering, it became the Annakut Gram. That is why this place is called Annakuta. And then Aniora, Krishna said, give me more, give me more. Krishna was not satisfied, give me more. And they were bringing more and more and more offerings. So that's why Aniora means give me more. And then is this Grama or this village only, the Gopala deity is there. So Mahaprabhu is in the Harideva temple contemplating, how will I take darshan of Gopal? I can't climb the hill, but yet I want to see him. So now, very beautifully, Gopala plays a trick. Suddenly what happens? One person enters the village and he informs all the villagers, there is a news. What is the news? The Turkish soldiers, they are actually going to attack Annakuta village. We got the message. So we all have to flee this village. Not even one person should stay in the village. We have to take all of our belongings, especially the deity, Gopal deity, we need to take and leave immediately. So immediately all the villagers, they became very anxious. And you see the Gopal, there is a Natha Dwara, Madhavendra Puri's Gopal. Now currently Nathdwara temple. So this Gopal, what happened? They took the Gopal deity also, and then they took him from Annakuta Gram. They took him to another village called Gantuli Grama. So Gantuli Grama, Gopal went there and then they kept him there. And Mahaprabhu, when Gopal came to Gantuli Grama, what happened was Mahaprabhu got the opportunity. He went. Before that, he went to, and also the Gopal deity was going around in so many places because the Turkish soldiers can anytime attack. Actually, that was an arrangement made by the Lord so that Gopal deity can be brought from the hilltop and can be in some village down so that Mahaprabhu can take darshan of the deity. So it is Gopal's reciprocation with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. So because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna, but in the mood of Srimati Radharani, who always want to be in the service and association of Krishna. So that is what is the reciprocation of Gopala deity to Mahaprabhu. So from Annakut, Gopal comes to Gantuli Gram and gives darshan to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Prabhu. You can move to the next one. So we see that how the Lord reciprocates. Ye yatamam prapatyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So even though, so anyone, when we desire to serve the Lord, desire to see the Lord reciprocates. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Manasi Ganga, or also called Manasa Ganga. So Mahaprabhu goes and takes, it's a very holy place, where he takes, which is in the beginning, before going to Govardhan Parikrama, everyone starts their Parikrama from Manasi Ganga. So if anyone has already done a Parikrama, you know that, the Parikrama starts from Manasi Ganga. So Mahaprabhu goes there and takes a bath, because this Manasi Ganga, how it appeared also is that Nanda Maharaj once desired that he wanted to go and, take bath in Ganga. And then when the little Krishna heard, he said, why, my father, you have to go all the way to Ganga? I will manifest Ganga here. So that's why you see in Vrindavan everywhere Yamuna only there. But to fulfill the desire of, Nanda Maharaj, Krishna brought Ganga, here, just by his, desire. And so that's why, it's Manasi Ganga here. And so, generally devotees take a dip here before going for Govardhan Parikrama. So here Mahaprabhu took a bath and then he circumambulated the Govardhan hill. So, and he was, the Govardhan Parikrama, ecstatic Parikrama, along with all the devotees. And he danced and recited a very beautiful verse, which we are going to see. What is this verse? This is a very beautiful verse. If you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 21st chapter, which is Venu Gita. The gopis are glorifying the song of Krishna's flute. That is the 21st chapter. In that 18th verse, very, very special verse. And this verse, it says here, reciting gopis' verse, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, you only see that gopis are reciting the verse, but there is no mention which gopi is reciting. But actually, it is confirmed in other scriptures, especially Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's one special Satakam is there about Govardhan. In that, he mentions that this particular verse is spoken by Srimati Radharani, not just any gopi. It is spoken by Srimati Radharani herself in glorification of Govardhan Hill. What is that she is speaking? Let's read it. Hantaya madrir abala haridasa varyo yadrama krishna charanas parasha pramoda manam tanoti sahago ganayastayoryat paniya suya vasakandara kandamulai. So of all the devotees, this Govardhan Hill is the best. Oh, my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram as well as their calves, cows, and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balarama, Govardhana Hill appears very jubilant. So here, Srimati Radharani is telling, Hantayam. Hantayam means very astonishing. Oh, dear gopis, it is so astonishing and so wonderful, to see Hari Dasa Varyo. Hari Dasa means what? Hari is the Lord Krishna. Dasa is a servant. Servant of Krishna. Varya means the best. So the best of all the Hari's servants. Who is that? That is no doubt. It is Govardhan. Why? And she is giving this point. Why Govardhan is the best? Because Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. Because Krishna and Balaram are all the time, performing his wonderful pastimes. Their lotus feet is touching this Govardhan hill all the time. That means they are touched. The Govardhana is touched by the lotus dust of Krishna and Balaram all the time. And not only that, they are not only serving Krishna and Balaram, supplying all the necessities for Krishna and Balaram, but also to all the cows, all the calves, and all the cowherd friends of Krishna. What are that they are supplying? They are supplying water for drinking. There are very beautiful ponds in Govardhan. Very, refreshing ponds. So where they give water. Pani. So pani means, water. Even in Hindi, it is called water. So pani. So they're giving water. And then they are giving suyavasa, the fresh grass. So that the cows, can eat, and even the cowherd boys and Krishna can perform on the soft grass, all the leelas. And they are providing fruits, beautiful, varieties of fruits and different colors, fragrant flowers and vegetables, every necessities. And we see that in many other scriptures, it is mentioned that how this Govardhana is supplying different varieties of minerals also. And there is some special kind of fruits, like one of the vanas, forest in Kadiravana. We see that there is a special fruit called Kadir fruit. This Kadir fruit, what they do is that this Kadir fruit they use as a color, like, in the face paint they do, no? So like that, Gopi dots, Gopa dots, they use this color to decorate the face of the cowherd boys and girls. So that Kadir fruit is also there. So like that, varieties of different fruits, which can be used, as a cosmetics or, as a face painting, so like that, this Govardhan is all the time serving Krishna, Balaram, the cowherd friends, the calves, the inhabitants of Vraja, all the time in the mood of serving, So, and also it is mentioned that generally, Govardhan becomes very ecstatic. The word you can see here, Yadrama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. Pramoda means becoming maddened, ecstatic. So generally, when we become ecstatic, what happens? If anyone becomes ecstatic, they cannot perform service, right? And then the ecstasy will stop. So that's why you see the gopis and all the pure devotees, they actually don't even want the ecstasy, because they don't want the ecstasy to intervene or disturb their service to Krishna. They keep service as the topmost, and ecstasy is something they feel that, oh, don't come and don't spoil our mood. So this very beautiful pastime of Krishna, when he came 5,000 years back, as we know, Daruka, he's the chariot driver of Krishna. And this one time when Daruka was fanning Krishna, and he was absorbed, seeing how Krishna is so beautiful, so beautiful. Adaram Maduram, Vadanam Maduram, Nayanam Maturam, Hasitam Maturam, Hridayam Maturam, Gamanam Maturam, Maduradi Pate Akila Maturam. Everything about Krishna is so sweet. Eyes are sweet, lips are sweet, smile is sweet. Everything is sweet. So he's relishing, he's absorbed, and he's completely into the mood of seeing Krishna's beauty. And when he was doing like that, the tears were flowing from his eyes, like a syringe. It is coming, flowing in a joy, in ecstatic joy. And what happens is that the tears are flowing so much that he is not able to see Krishna now. Immediately he's condemning that, oh, this ecstasy, go away, I don't want, I should never cry, so that this crying and the tears and this ecstasy is not impeding my service to Krishna. Just imagine their level of devotion. So Daruka is telling, I don't want these tears, I don't want this ecstasy. Let me serve the Lord, because it is actually disturbing my service. Srila Prabhupada also said, service first, samadhi next. Sometimes one gets overjoyed and overwhelmed and completely into that mood and then drop all the service. But here the beauty of Govardhan is he's doing both. He's ecstatic. At the same time, he's offering his service. So some of the very great Vaishnava Acharyas have commented that how that is possible. They're saying that, the Govardhan hill, you see all the grass are all standing like this, they are like, the goosebumps, the ecstasy of Govardhan. And yet it is not disturbing because this grass are eaten by the cows. So he's stunned and ecstatic and he's absorbed in the meditation of Krishna, yet he's all the time supplying and serving Krishna. So that's why he's the topmost of all servants. Never at one moment he's stopping his service. So that's why Haridasa Varya, of all the best servants. See, Srimati Radharani is considered as the topmost of all the devotees of Krishna, right? We all know that. Everyone knows, all the scriptures glorify that. And Krishna himself considers us as the best of all the devotees. But that best devotee of Krishna, the topmost personality, she is commenting that Haridasa Varya, the topmost of all the servants, is Govardhan. Govardhan could do so much. And she's telling to the gopis that even we are not able to offer that, what Govardhan is offering to Krishna. So like that, Srimati Radharani is glorifying Govardhana hill. And the very word Govardhana, Go means cows, Vardhana means nourishing. So we see that the Govardhan hill is nourishing the cows by giving all this fresh grass and all that eatables. And not only, in another meaning, is also not just only nourishing the cows. Is Govardhan only nourishing cows? No. Govardhana also means, go means senses. It is nourishing the senses. By taking shelter of Govardhan, by praying to Giri Govardhan, we also will be nourished in our bhakti. That we will be nourished, and also the other word for Vardhana means increase. It will help increase our attraction to Krishna. So it is so wonderful that many times we might have gone to many temples where there is Giriraj, right? We might not have even bothered to look at them, or maybe a simple pranams. But when we hear the glories of Govardhan more and more and more and more, then our appreciation, towards Govardhan will increase manyfold, and we will truly take shelter of Govardhan. If we want our bhakti to increase for Krishna, if we want our love for Krishna to increase and get awakened, Giri Govardhan can help us. If we want our spiritual desires to get fulfilled, Giri Govardhan can help us. Because he is the best of all the servants, and he's also Krishna himself. So he has both the roles. So in that way, we can actually get loads and loads of mercy by Govardhan Parikrama, Govardhan Puja, and offering praise to Govardhan. Everything about Govardhan is so wonderful and so amazing, and it's a great blessing. Yeah. Okay, so we can keep talking, but there are many more, so let's move forward. Yes, Prabhu. So then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to this very beautiful kunda called Govinda Kunda. We can all see the pictures and offer our respects, mentally. Krishna is Bhava Grahi. We can also offer our heartfelt prayers. In this, seeing all this wonderful places. So what is this Govinda Kunda? I will not go much deep, but I will say shortly. So Govinda Kunda is a very, very beautiful place, because here, as we know, Indra, he offended Krishna, right? What happened? He brought that Samvartaka cloud and the entire Vrindavan, so much of a heavy rain. Then later he repented. Oh my God, what a mistake I have done. So he came with Airavata. You can see in the picture, he came with his Airavata, and then he came down also with the Surabhi, the cow, and then he bathed Krishna, in this place. That's why it's called Govinda Kunda. He bathed Krishna. Airavata is coming and bathing. We can see here, he comes and offers his prayers and requests the Lord, begs the Lord to forgive him. So that's a Govinda Kunda. So the Lord is taking a bath in the Govinda Kunda, and then he goes to the Gantuli Gram, and then he takes sees beautiful Gopal deity. Gopal deity descended to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with some tricks. So now Gantuli Grama is there. So Mahaprabhu went and happily saw, Gopal, and he danced in great joy, and he offered a lot of wonderful prayers. So like the 3 days, Gopala deity, Mahaprabhu could see, and then they returned back. And then Mahaprabhu stayed at the bottom of the hill, and then the deity was taken, to the top of the hill. So in that way, in the name of the Turkish soldiers attacking the Annakuta Grama, Gopal played a trick and came down and gave wonderful, time darshan to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 3 continuous days. Okay, so then the Gopala, this is the way the Lord satisfies or fulfills the desires of his pure devotees. We see the same pastime also that Sheila Rupa Goswami also, at his ripened age, he could not. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also had the same mood. They also didn't want to climb the Govardhan hill. So they never actually climbed Govardhan. But they also had a great desire, that they want to see the Gopal deity. So then what happened was, similarly, there was another time that Gopala was brought, to, Mathura. By same, like some soldiers are attacking, and then so he has to be brought to one of the devotees' house to, Venkata Bhatta. So one of the sons of, not Venkata Bhatta, one of the sons of Vallabha Bhatta's house, Vittaleshwara. So his house, Gopal comes and stays for months, for at least a month. And then Rupa Goswami got the opportunity to go and then see the darshan of Gopal. So in that way, Gopal reciprocated not only to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, his Supreme Lord, but also to his dear devotee Sri Rupa Goswami. So we can see here on the right side, Madhavendra Puri, how Madhavendra Puri, he was... the Lord himself, Gopal, comes and offers milk, right, to Madhavendra Puri. So that beautiful pastime we can see here. So this deities are, very, very reciprocative, and especially this Gopala deity, beautifully reciprocated with Mahaprabhu, later with Rupa Goswami and all the other great personalities. Yes, Prabhu. So let's go to the... So when, before that, when Rupa Goswami went to the Vittaleshwara's house in Mathura, that time when Gopal was there, he took so many of the associates. And that associates, a very big name is given: Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Lokanatha Goswami, Bhugarbha Goswami. All of them went and had darshan of Gopal when he was in the house of Vittaleshwara. So in that way, he reciprocated to the love of all his devotees. So that's what is we could see there. So in that way, and Sanatana Goswami also, he had this vow that every day he has to circumambulate Govardhan hill. And when he was actually becoming very old, Krishna himself said, why you want to actually, go around? But, he never wanted to compromise. He every day wanted, and Govardhan to cover, it's not 1 hour, 2 hours, it is like 6 to 7 hours. If you go walk slowly, then it becomes 8 hours to do the Parikrama. But Sanatana Goswami had, he was every day actually doing the Parikrama. And later the Lord said, he gave one, one Sheila, and then he said that, just to go around, it is equal to circumambulating Govardhan hill, because he became very old. But how the Lord also reciprocates. So all our acharyas, so we are now going to do a virtual Govardhan Parikrama. We were doing also now, but still we will do now, is that, we should understand that Govardhan is not just here in the material world. Bhauma Vrindavan. This is called Bhauma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan in the material world. There is Goloka Vrindavan. Govardhan is also in Goloka. It is mentioned that Srimati Radharani is telling Krishna, Krishna, if you are pleased with our devotion, if you are pleased with the devotion of the gopis, then I request you to give a benediction. So Krishna says, okay, my dear Srimati Radharani, it is my great pleasure to fulfill your desire. Please tell me what you want. And then she says that in the forest, in the Goloka Vrindavana, in the eternal pastime of Radha and Krishna, she says that please create a wonderful place of our pastime, which can increase the pleasure of the pastimes. And then immediately Krishna, is searching, in the meditation, Krishna is searching in his heart his own love, and then a wonderful tiny seed of bliss comes out of Krishna's heart and falls down as a small pebble. And that tiny seed becomes a pebble, manifests as a pebble, then becomes a rock, and then becomes a hill, and that is a Govardhan hill. And with a lot of kunjas and lakes and so many wonderful things. So that's how this Govardhan manifested in Goloka Vrindavan. And then when Krishna says to Srimati Radharani, I have promised Lord Brahma that I will appear in his planet, so I need to go down. But I can't go without you, my dear Srimati Radharani. And then Srimati Radharani says, my dear Lord, I always want to follow you wherever you go. But I have one, without Yamuna, without Govardhan, without Vrindavan, I don't feel happy to come down. So then Krishna says, already Yamuna is there, already Govardhan is there, already Vrindavan is manifested. So you just come. So in that way, we see that how this Govardhan is very dear to Srimati Radharani. So, and Govardhan is also called Giriraj. Of all the Giri, the mountains, it is the chief of all the mountains because it is non-different from Krishna himself. So in that way, we see in Bhauma Vrindavan also. So now we are going to see in the original pastime, we see that, Krishna himself, comes down, and then he circumambulated Govardhan, and we know all the inhabitants of Vrindavan did Govardhan Parikrama, right? They offered Govardhan Annakuta, Govardhan Puja, right? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself personally, he circumambulated Govardhan hill. Then later all the acharyas, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, all our Sampradaya acharyas, they performed the Govardhan Parikrama. So now following the footsteps, now also we see that all the devotees, they go to Vrindavan and then they do this Govardhan Parikrama. So before we do, we offer this prayers too. So everyone can read this. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the King of all hills, Govardhana hill, the source of enjoyment for the senses and cows. He is a servant of Krishna and is Krishna himself. He puts an end to unlimited sufferings and bestows a supreme bliss. By praying to Shri Govardhan, all our sufferings will be put to an end, and then see all auspiciousness and supreme bliss emanates. So that is the great blessing of Shri Giri Govardhan. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine. So one side, Kleshas, the calamities, the sufferings are destroyed. And another side, Paramananda Daine, giving the greatest bliss. There is a song also, what is that? Ananda Simanai Niranande Durejai. Ananda Simanai, there is no limit to bliss. And all the Nirananda, the sadness goes far away. So let's pray to Govardhan, and then let's get into the different places. We will do it shortly because we can't glorify enough with our limited time and with our limited senses. So this is a general map, in the sense of Giri Govardhan. So many pastime, you see, we can't show all the places. You can see how many places are listed here. So many beautiful kundas, temples, pastime places, full of pastime places, and each place has got loads and loads of pastimes. We may not be able to cover, only few we have put that we can share. Thank you, Prabhu. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Okay, Manasi Ganga. So we saw that Manasi Ganga, when Yashoda Maya Nanda Baba wanted to take a dip in Ganga, but didn't want to go out of Rajabhumi, Krishna manifested Manasi Ganga from his mind, Manasa, from mind. And that's why this Ganga is very special, Ganga, which has come manifested from the mind of Krishna. So that's why Manasi Ganga ki jai. So generally, if you see Parikrama, when we go, we first go to Manasi Ganga, and from there we start the Parikrama. So Manasi Ganga is a special place. Krishna manifested this for the pleasure of his father Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. Yes. Okay, Manasi Ganga, you can see everywhere surrounded. So generally, Ganga is not there, but by the desire of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, Ganga also manifested there. Okay, this is a very beautiful sarovar. As I said, Vrindavan itself fully, filled with beautiful sarovara. And here we have the Kusuma Sarovara. So Kusuma Sarovara, that Radharani gave darshan to Shri Narada Muni. Also, it is from the flowers of Kusum Sarovara that Krishna used to decorate the hairs of Srimati Radharani. Kusum means flower and Sarovar means pond. Kusum Sarovar in Nitya Goloka Vrindavan is full of beautiful flowers and is a place of beautiful lilas of divine couple. Actually, Kusum Sarovara, surrounded by so many vanas, are there. In that one, there is a pastime. Kusum Sarovar, the famous pastime is Radharani is eternally, this place she's coming and picking flowers, and Krishna to picking flowers along with his gopi friends to make beautiful garland to offer to Krishna. So that is why this Kusuma Sarovara is very, very, filled with beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. We can see that place here. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, and we also know Radha Kund and Shama Kund. They are considered like eyes of Govardhan because they are in the foothills. Radha Kund and Shama Kund. We saw the Radha Kund last time also. The lost of a lot of glories about Radha Kund. Krishna says that there is nothing. There is no place more sacred than Radha Kund. That is the words of Krishna himself, and very, very dear to Krishna. And this is the pond Krishna himself takes bath, and it is created by Srimati Radharani and all her Sakhis. So Radha Kunda is the most sacred place. One should aspire, to take blessings from Radha Kunda. And Radha Kund, all the bhajan kutis of great personalities like our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Dasa Goswami, all of the pastime places are there in Radha Kund. So they're considered like the eyes of Giri Govardhan, Radha Kund and Shama Kund. Yes, Prabhu. And Chandra Sarovara. Chandra Sarovara, as the name goes, Chandra is moon. Krishna tells, Mother Yashoda tells to Krishna that Krishna, you have to eat now. If you eat nicely, I will show you the moon. And I will get you the moon. So then Krishna eats, and then Krishna says, where is the moon? And then Mother Yashoda takes Krishna to Chandra Kunda, and where the reflection of moon is not seen in one place, in the water. There are many, many moons in the water. So then Mother Yashoda is showing, see, there are so many moons. So Mother Yashoda is tricking Krishna. See, I'm giving you so many moons, and in that way making Krishna to eat. So that is the place of Chandrakunda, the beautiful pond of Chandrakunda. Yes, Prabhu. Govinda Kunda is that the deities of Sheena Ji appeared. So we know that Govinda Kunda is a place. The deity of Sheena Ji manifested there to Madhavendra Puri, and he told them to excavate from this place, and then so from here only the Sheena, the Gopal was actually taken, and later now we see the Sheena Ji temple. We can see the Gopal deity, the same Gopala. Yeah. And so many wonderful places. And Shri Radha Ban Bihari temple is Krishna decorates the hair of Radharani. So with also it's a very beautiful place, Radha Ban Bihari, Bana Bihari temple, where Krishna, decorates the hair of Srimati Radharani. There is a comb and it is near to the Kusum Sarovar only. And, they put a mirror and Radharani sees in the mirror, there is a very famous picture. She sees the picture and she sees Krishna behind, and Krishna is actually decorating the hair of Srimati Radharani. He also gives ornaments and clothes and many other things, for Radharani's pleasure. Yeah. Dangati is a place very, very famous pastime. Actually, there is a very beautiful book called Danakeli Kaumudi. This book was written by Sheila Rupa Goswami, and one of the reasons this book was written because Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, when he heard that Radha and Krishna are, the separation pastimes, he was, in great, because when Krishna left Vrindavan, when he read that pastimes, when Krishna left Vrindavan and how much Srimati Radharani was in great separation, crying for Krishna all the time, when Raghunatha Dasa Goswami was actually, kind of reading those pastimes, he was all the time fainting, and he decided to give up his life. I cannot live. How can I see Srimati Radharani in great pain? I don't want to live. Why I am living in this world? So he was going to Govardhan, and from top of Govardhan, he wanted to, fall down and, end his life. When Rupa Goswami saw the pitiable position of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, he saw how to keep Raghunatha Dasa Goswami happy, in service. So immediately he said, there is another wonderful pastime book, you read this. So he took the other book, which is full of separation, and he gave this book, called Danakeli Kaumudi. In this book, what happens is that all the very sweet, humorous pastimes of Radha and Krishna are there. In Govardhan, they are, the tax collecting pastime, the gopis and Srimati Radharani will be carrying all the butter and, various other items, to go to the other side to sell. And then Krishna and all the Gopa boys will be hiding, and they will coming and, saying that, if you want to cross this side, you have to pay us a tax. Krishna is the king, our king, without paying tax to us, you cannot go and, go out of this place. So the toll collecting pastime, happens here. And it's so many sweet exchanges. Then immediately the gopis say, why we have to pay tax? Who are you to collect? Like that very, very sweet and humorous exchange. Our Radharani is queen of Vrindavana. What is your Krishna? Like that, very nicely Gopas and gopis, they have a very sweet conversation. So when this Danakeli Kaumudi pastime book was given to Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, he started laughing and enjoying and relishing these pastimes. In that way, he forgot to, give up his life. So in that way, Sheila Rupa Goswami wanted to, save the life of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami and, gave him. See, you can see the great acharyas, how they just got absorbed completely into the pastimes of the Lord. We see in Kulashekara Alva's pastime also, he was a great king and he was reading Ramayana. Every day the king would hear Ramayana, the Pandits will come and recite Ramayana. So one time they were reciting that, now Lord Rama, is going, he's going to attack Ravana, but, the bridge is not yet made, and the Ravana has kept Sita Devi there. And now all the, the Vanaras are actually, making the bridge, building the bridge. When he heard that, he could not tolerate that. Oh, my dear Sita Devi, my mother Sita is actually there on the other side. And my dear Lord, my master, Lord Rama, he is with the Vanaras. How long it would take the bridge? Okay, my dear army, come on, get up, let's go and construct this bridge soon. And he goes forward with a great mood, into, to build the bridge, so completely absorbed in the pastime. And then again, another Pandit comes and says, no, now the bridge is already completed. Mother Sita is back now. Like that, they have to, say, then only they can really convince, because they get so lost and absorbed. And Raghunatha Dasa Goswami was such a personality, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was completely captivated by his devotion. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having a Govardhan Sheila. He was carrying one Govardhan all the time on his neck. and always crying, shedding tears of love, that Sheila got completely moistened by the tears, the ecstatic tears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was always carrying, like in the mood of Radharani. Radharani wants always Krishna. So in the mood of Radharani, Mahaprabhu is carrying this Govardhan Sheila on his neck all the time. And seeing the devotion of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, finally he gives that, the special Govardhan Sheila, Giri Govardhan Sheila to Raghunatha Dasa Goswami as a gift. And Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, all throughout his life, he worshipped that Govardhan. You all want to see that Govardhan Sheila? We will show darshan at the end of our Parikrama. Okay, so this is that very beautiful Danagati Mandir Govardhan, very, very beautiful pastimes. And very nicely Srila Rupa Goswami has put together in Danakeli Komudi. So very nice. Haribol. Yes, Prabhu. Mukharavind of Srinathji Jaipura. Anyway, this is Mukharavind, is the face of Govardhan. We can go and see this place. Let's see. Face of Govardhan, where everyone offers their prayers. The shape of Govardhan is like a peacock. So there is a face and there is a tail, the end portion. So this is the face of, they call the Mukharavind, the lotus face of Govardhana. Okay, Prabhu, the next one, Pushika Lota temple. This is a tail of Govardhan, which is in the shape of a peacock from the top. Yes. So this also we go and then offer our, pranams, to this place. Jivya Mandir, this is the tongue of Govardhan, and on the eve of Annakut, Govardhan Puja, it is from here that Giriraj eats the food offered by Brajavasis. So when you climb, this is all in the Govardhan. When we go in the Parikrama path, we can all see this Mukharavind and this, Pushrika, Lota. Then we can see this offering place, all that we can see. Surabhi Kund, as we know, Indra begged forgiveness from Krishna after realizing his pride and mistake. He, along with other demigods, bathed Krishna with the milk of Krishna's dear Surabhi cows and gave him the name Govinda, the protector of cows and gopis. That's why, very beautiful, as the name goes, Surabhi Kund. Surabhi comes and offers her milk. With the milk, she is bathing, Abhishek. She's performing the ceremonial Abhishek for Lord Krishna, and that Kunda becomes the Surabhi Kunda. We can see the Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, right? So in the Brahma's prayers, we see that, Chinta Mani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma Sevyamanam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Surabhi cows, full of desire fulfilling cows. So the Surabhi cows comes and performs the celestial ceremonial Abhishek to Lord Krishna. That is the Surabhi Kund. Yes. Airavat footprint. Indra appeared on his elephant, right? We saw that in the very beginning. So he comes with Airavat to offer his, beg for forgiveness. So the footprints of Airavata is also there in the Govardhan. Madhavendra Puri, because as we all know, Madhavendra Puri is our great Acharya, who is the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri. And Ishvara Puri is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Madhavendra Puri only, Gopal came, we saw this pastime very early in our CC class, very beautiful pastime of how Madhavendra Puri and the Gopala came in the dream. Please take me out. I am actually, there for a very long time, so hot. Please take me out from this bush. And all the inhabitants, they are coming, from the Govinda Kund only. And then Gopal was brought, and buckets and buckets of water were offered. Pots and pots of bucket. I'm thinking of buckets, pots, pots and pots of the holy waters, sacred waters were offered, but yet Gopal was not feeling, was not satisfied. And Gopal told Madhavendra Puri, my body is still burning. Is it, please go and get this Malaya Chandan, this sandalwood paste, and then bring it. then you apply in my body, then only my body can feel that coolness. So please go immediately. And Madhavendra Puri was very old, but he did not think, oh, how will I actually go and do it? Is it possible? Is it feasible? He did not do all this analysis. He immediately took the instructions of the Lord, and with great love, actually. He did not think that is a burden. And how we know the pastime, he came down and then he took the chandan, beautiful pastime, Krishna himself arranged. And then he said, don't worry, you don't have to again bring all the logs of wood. You offer that to the Gopinath in the Remuna, Kitshore Gopinath. You offer to the Gopinath, then my body, there I will accept it. So very beautiful passage. So Madhavendra Puri is an embodiment of love, of pure devotion for Krishna. And so this great Madhavendra Puri Samadhi is there in this place, one of the places. Yes. So Govardhan Parikrama is around 23 kilometers. And actually 5 to 6 hours if we walk fast. But if we walk slowly and it's not possible also, it sometimes takes 7 to 8 hours also, and very beautiful. And some people see, they do Dandavat Parikrama. That is one kind of Parikrama. One of the Parikrama is just walking. You see here the devotees are walking together, hearing, so Govardhan Parikrama, when we do, we should not be talking anything else. Our ears should be completely filled, in hearing the pastimes of Giriraj, pastimes of Krishna, complete absorption, meditating on the different, that's why we go with the devotees so that they can, very nicely narrate the pastimes and we can keep hearing, and then that increases our, longing, to see Krishna, to appreciate the pastime places of Krishna. So it's very, very wonderful. And some of the Brajavasis, they do Dandavat Parikrama. That means they offer like a rod, they offer pranams. And where the head falls from that place, again, they will offer. So like that Dandavat Parikrama, my God, it takes how many hours? But they do. So many Babajis and many saintly personalities, they do this Dandavat Parikrama. Very great. Because they consider that every step, they have to offer pranams. Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, mentally, he used to offer some thousands and thousands of every day pranams to the Krishna, to the Govardhan, to the Vaishnavas. Amazing. So offering obeisance is a very, very important element in devotional life. If you see in the Bhagavad Gita also, anyone remembers what is that shloka where Krishna says, the importance of offering obeisances? Anyone remembers that verse, even the first line? What is it? It's a quiz question. There is a verse where Krishna says offering obeisances. How important is to offer obeisances?
Mataji, is it 18.65? Manmanava Madbhakta.
Excellent. Yeah, very nice. Manmanava Bhava Madbhakto Madhya Jimam Namaskuru. Offering obeisance is a very important element. We may think it is a simple, every day I'm doing. No, it's a very important thing, because offering obeisance means I am actually submitting myself to the Lord. I'm actually becoming humble and submissively I'm giving myself to the Lord. It is an act of respect, and it's an act of humility, act of submission to the Lord, and it is very pleasing to the Lord. If we are very proud, we cannot offer obeisances, isn't it? So offering obeisances is so important. That's why even we offer obeisances to Krishna. We also offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas, like Vaishnava Pranam also we do, right? Vanchakalpatarubhyasya. So offering obeisances is a very, very important, integral part of our devotional service. So Giri Govardhan also we offer all our obeisances. Yes, Prabhu. In Govinda Lilamrita, we are almost ending here. In Govinda Lilamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami states that Govardhan Hill is shaped like a peacock. A peacock often curves its neck and puts its head under its stomach. Govardhan Hill is thus shaped in this pose of a peacock. Can you see that? Radhakund and Shyamakund are its eyes. Dangati and Manasi Ganga are its long neck. Mukharavind is the mouth. Kusuma Sarovara its face. And Punchari is its back and tail feathers. How beautiful, huh? All the pastimes Radhakund, Shamakund, like the eyes. Danagati and Manasi Ganga are his long neck. Mukaravinda is a mouth. Kusuma Sarovara is face, and Punchari is its back and tail feathers, and surrounded all the other pastime places, like in the form of a peacock. So some of the Govardhan Shilas you can see here very beautifully. And another important point is that we have to follow the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the sense we should not take any stone from Govardhan is considered as a Govardhan Shila, and we should not take any rock or stones, any Shila from Govardhan Hill, unless otherwise any Vrajavasis on their own come and give it to us. Okay, please worship, or our spiritual master gives, or any Vaishnavas gives. Then again, with the permission and with the guidance of the devotees and spiritual master, only one should worship Giriraj. We should not just to go and pick up on stone and come and then start worshipping. That is not allowed. That means it is like I decide and I do things. It should be given. Then only it should we should worship Giriraj. And we can see here, and and if you go to Radha Landaneshwar temple, Soho temple, you see the lotus feet of Radha Landaneshwar. Beautiful Giriraj is there. And can you see the last Giri Govardhan Shila, the green color, the dress we can see, like the square shape, a little square shape. This is a Sheila of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. And who gave that? The Sheila actually emanated from, it's a self-manifested Sheila, and the Sheila was worshipped by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Personally, he was hanging on his neck all the time. And seeing the devotion of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, he handed over to, gave as a gift. And this was worshipped by Raghunatha Dasa Goswami for a very long time. So this is a very special Giriraj Sheila worshipped by Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. So we can see that how wonderful Giri Govardhan, and this Govardhan Leela is also so dear to Krishna, because you see Krishna lifting Govardhan hill, right? With the little finger, the left little finger he was raising. And everyone, even though Indra was sending the Samvartaka cloud in a very devastating rain, and entire Vrindavan was flooded, yet all the inhabitants were very happy, because they all came under the shelter of Govardhan, and all the gopis, gopas, cows and calves, they were so happy, because they can see Krishna 24/7 for all the 7 days. It doesn't happen all the time, because Krishna in the morning goes to grazing cows, right? So the cows, calves, the gopas, all are very happy, because they are going to go with Krishna. But gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they were all so sad, because they can't see Krishna. And when Krishna comes back in the evening, they all become happy. Oh, we could see Krishna. But the cowherd boys, the friends of Krishna, the cows and calves, oh, we will miss Krishna, because we can't see Krishna now. So at some part of time, somebody is relishing seeing the beautiful form of Krishna, and some other time someone else is missing it out. But in Govardhan pastime, everyone is in one place. And 24/7, they're looking at the beautiful place, and Krishna, how beautiful, what a beautiful smile. His qualities are wonderful, like this Adara Madaram song only. Everything about you is so sweet. See, you can see the cows, how they are so sweetly looking at Krishna. And how all the gopis looking, and they have this feeling, oh, Krishna's left hand, maybe, they are putting a stick. You can see here, they are trying to help Krishna, so much of love, because they don't see Krishna as the Supreme Lord, but they see someone, who is so dear to their heart, their object of love. So this Govardhan pastime is such a sweet pastime, because everyone becomes happy. Everyone is happy. Not even one person is sad, because this is a pastime where everyone could actually get Krishna's complete association. So Giriraj is very, very sweet. So we all can offer our prayers. You can read more whenever you get an opportunity. Hear more lectures or more readings of Giri Govardhan. He's non-different from Krishna, and yet best of Krishna's servants. Haridasa Varya. So we will end here. Before that, I have just a couple of questions, just to see that whether we have at least caught something in our head. So what is this very famous deity, in the Govardhan in the Annakuta village, worshipped by all the inhabitants, where Mahaprabhu also went and offered his prayers. What is the name of the deity?
Gopala deity.
No, Gopala later, before Gopal, there was a deity.
Govinda.
Harideva. Yes, Harideva. Harideva. In fact, Govardhan is also called Harideva and Haridasa. He's simultaneously Harideva. He's the Supreme Lord because he's Krishna himself. But Haridasa is the servant of Krishna also. Okay, so what is that? So who is this great personality to whom Gopala, very originally manifested? Who actually brought Gopala from the Govinda Kunda? Huh? From Govinda Kund, who first originally brought Madhavendra Puri. Yes, Sadhvi Mataji, right. Madhavendra Puri brought Gopal deity, and so then who is the other personality? So Sri Chaitanya, Gopala tricked and showed his darshan to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the name of Turkish soldiers attacking, right? So who is the other personality who also got the reciprocation from Gopal and who could see Gopal for months and months? He did not want to climb Govardhan, but yet Govardhan, Krishna reciprocated. Gopal, who is that person?
Rupa Goswami.
Sri Rupa Goswami, very nice. Sri Rupa Goswami. Yes. So who is this very great personality? Whom Rupa Goswami thought, oh, he is in a great separation because he is Radharani. Krishna left Radharani and went, and Radharani is all the time crying. Raghunatha Das Goswami, yes, he was the one who was weeping. And what is the pastime which made him so happy? Anyone remembers the place? A place or the book name or the place. This particular pastime, Danakeli, Dangati. That pastime is called Danakeli Kaumudi, that book. So all the toll collecting pastimes, which is joyful, humorous, joking, that made everyone feel so happy. So these are some of the places. And what is the shape of the Govardhan? Peacock, like a peacock. Yes. So what is the philosophy behind Govardhan? He's the best. He's the Supreme Lord himself. And what is the name used by Radharani to tell that he's the best of servants? What is the name?
Haridasa
Varya, best of the servants. Haridasa Varya. So like that, we can keep talking. So thank you very much for coming together for this wonderful Parikrama. Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai, Sheila Prabhupada. In fact, the last one to end with Sheila Prabhupada. Sheila Prabhupada, in his final pastimes, about to leave his, body. So that time Srila Prabhupada was so weak, right? And that time, what he actually requested all his, disciples, please take me to Govardhan Parikrama. That's what he said, by the ox cart. Take me to the Govardhan. And, everyone said, Srila Prabhupada, you're so weak. No, please. Then he said that it is better to give up life, give my life going for the, Parikrama. That will be more glorious. Prabhupada said that. So we can understand how dear, is this for Srila Prabhupada also, this Govardhan Parikrama, and how glorious is this Govardhan Parikrama. So we all have to pray to the Lord, hope and wish, pray that one day we can also go and do Giriraj Parikrama along with devotees. That will be wonderful. And we can hear all these pastime places. We can go and see, personally see, offer our obeisances, respects. That will be very, very wonderful. And from this, we can also take the mood of service. Govardhan is teaching us how to be a good, and we don't want to become best. Again, they are best because best, we always want to be the best in everything. So even we want to be the best humble servant. So not in that mood, the mood of servitude, how we want to be serving the Lord all the time. The Lord himself comes as Govardhan and shows how he wants to be a servant. Krishna is so merciful. Even he is a master, but he always says how to be the servant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a master. He shows how to be a servant. Krishna is a master. He shows how to be a servant. So that means we are servants. We are not masters, but we like to be master. The ulta. They are master, but they are becoming servant. The servant wanting to become master. So now this pastimes and all these things shows, and even Prema Padmini Mataji recently mentioned how we should do everything in the mood of service and the servitude, because our original position is I am the servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. So we want to remind ourselves that Krishna, please bless me, that let me be reminded of my original position as a servant of Krishna. That let me serve everyone without ulterior motives. Let me not have this tendency of being the controller, being the enjoyer, being in the tendency of a master. Let me be a humble servant, and that gives a lot of joy. That actually satisfies the soul. That gives pleasure to Krishna. So that is a very wonderful lesson we can also take. So we are very, very thankful to Srila Prabhupada and, to all the acharyas for giving us this. Otherwise, who will know this glory of Govardhan, right? So, so we are very thankful to all the, our Sampradaya acharyas and Srila Prabhupada for giving us this all great gifts, treasures, and this knowledge, so that we can also awaken our love for Krishna and serve the Lord in the proper mood of service. So Shri Giri Govardhan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I end here, and I again thank our Prabhu, Naveen Prabhu, for putting up this beautiful slides, and wonderful service he has done, that we could all do this virtual parikrama. And I like to tell you, next week we are going to have a Vrajamandal Parikrama. We are going to have the virtual parikrama of all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. So be ready for that. Finish all your cooking and whatever you can early, so that we all can go to the 12 forests of Vrindavan and relish the very, very wonderful pastimes, little singing in between. You will really enjoy it, and we can all do that. We can't go physically, we can do this. Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna to everyone. Hari Bol. And over to Vivek Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Any announcements?
Such a nice parikrama.
Nice parikrama. Hari Bol. Giri Govardhan.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Vivek Prabhu, any announcements there? I will show Jagannath in the meantime if you have announcements.
Yeah, so just this announcement is related to IT skills, which is needed by our digital team. So you might have seen the circular, or you can say message from our digital team, that they need some help from IT people in our congregation. If you have any of the technology expert like Java, Unix, or database, Excel, anything, I know 60-70% devotees are IT based devotees, so they must be having a lot of hands-on. So they have to devote couple of hours per week for this nice work for ELBB website. So we are going to create a new website for East London Bhakti Vriksha. There you will get everything, knowledge in single centrally, instead of going so many WhatsApp, so many messages. So for that, we need help from each and every Bhakti Vriksha. Identify whoever devotee can help in this nice work, and please register your name. So link and everything is passed in the leaders group, so leaders can pass to their Bhakti Vriksha. So it's purely voluntarily, and you don't have to take the pressure because you do this job for your company, or your office, your boss, but do for now Srila Prabhupada and Sri Krishna. So it will be multiplied many times if you do it. That is what I feel. So there is no time amount, no nothing. Just you give your name if you have that skills, and we will try to see where we can fit you. Hare Krishna. Now we can see the Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Jai Jagannath.
Nice prasadam plate I can see.
With tulsi leaves also.
After seeing Giriraj Parikrama, everyone is hungry. Looks like everyone has circumambulated nicely. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Is Naveen Prabhu available? You can come on the video if it is possible. You have done such a wonderful service. You can take Jagannath's blessings.
Actually, yeah, I'm there, Mataji, but yeah, this laptop doesn't have the camera, so next time.
Oh, okay. So, all the devotees' blessings and, for you, Prabhu, for your spiritual progress. Nice service.
Yes, Mataji, with your with your guidance and with all blessings, Mataji. Yeah.
Hari Bol. Okay, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Shri Shri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki jai. Lord Nitai ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande
Hari Bol.
So thank you everyone. Look forward to see you all with our Parikrama of 12 Forest of Vrindavan next week.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari